In today's video I'm going to show you how to make a traditional toad in the hole. For this recipe you're going to need 2 eggs, 200 grams of plain flour and 300 millilitres of milk for the batter, and then that will be enough to cover 8 sausages.
My sausages have the red tractor label on them, so I know the produce is sourced responsibly from a farm in the UK where the use of pesticides and fertilisers is limited. The animals reared there are looked after and treated humanely. No growth hormones would have been used, and the meat won't have been washed in anything like chlorine. It's just good quality produce.
The equipment you're going to need is a sieve to make sure you aerate your flour and get out any lumps, a mixing bowl for your mixture, a spare bowl to crack your eggs into to make sure you don't get any shell, and either a small whisk or a fork to whisk them up with. And then either a hand whisk or an electric whisk. It really doesn't matter which you use. If you haven't got an electric whisk, it doesn't matter. Using an electric whisk will speed up the process of making the batter, but if you haven't got one, honestly, it doesn't matter. A normal whisk will be absolutely fine. And then an oven-proof dish. I'm just using a glass one so that when you see the final result, you'll be able to see how well it's risen. But a ceramic one is fine, or a metal one. Okay, as long as it's oven-proof. This one that I'm using, it's about 30 centimetres across by about 20 centimetres wide. Start by preheating your oven at 200 degrees centigrade or gas mark 6.
To a large oven-proof dish, pour in about 2 tablespoons of oil. Tip your dish to ensure that the oil covers all of the oven-proof dish, so all the sides as well as the bottom. This will help to ensure that your toad in the hole batter doesn't stick to your dish. Now add your sausages. And ensure that they're evenly spread out in your oven-proof dish. You can line them up nice and neatly if you want to, or you can scatter them randomly. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure there are gaps in between the sausages for the batter to spread out. These can now go into your oven for between 20 to 30 minutes. Sieve your 200 grams of flour into your mixing bowl, making sure that you are getting rid of any lumps and also incorporating lots of air into your mixture. Next, crack 2 eggs into a separate bowl or jug, making sure that there is no shell. And then with a small whisk or fork, whisk them up. Make a well in the middle of your flour and then pour in your whisked eggs. And very slowly whisk your eggs, and little by little start to incorporate more and more of your flour into the egg. So as you're stirring with your whisk, you're getting more and more flour into the mixture. Doing it this way will ensure that you have mixed your egg in completely and you don't get any lumps. I'm going to use the same method to add my milk. So little at a time. I'm going to add in some milk, and then I'm going to mix in what I've added so far with my whisk. And I'm going to pour in about 2 tablespoons worth each time, and then mix it in thoroughly. I've now incorporated all of the milk into my batter, and as you can see it's a nice, smooth, slightly runny consistency. I'm going to continue to whisk this to make sure that I've incorporated as much air as possible into my batter. I'm now going to let my batter rest for 20 minutes or until my sausages are browned. This resting time will allow the starch molecules in the flour to absorb the liquid in the batter and swell, meaning the batter will hopefully become thicker, and any gluten will also have a chance to relax around the air bubbles I've incorporated by whisking. So hopefully, as the batter cooks in the oven later, it will be light and fluffy on the inside and crispy on the outside. If I didn't rest the batter, the chances are my toad in the hole will be more stodgy and rubbery. The heat from the oil and sausages will cause the batter to start cooking straight away. The liquid in the batter will turn to steam, causing it to rise in the oven. With oven gloves, remove the sausages from the oven. They only need to be browned, not cooked all the way through at this stage. Quickly pour the batter all over the sausages and return to the oven as quickly as possible so as not to lose too much heat from the dish. Cook for 35 to 45 minutes or until your toad in the hole is well risen and golden brown, then serve immediately. Here's a portion of my completed toad in the hole. I like mine with onion gravy.